Hello, everyone. I'm Kelsey Roberts, and today I'm interviewing Kelsey Roberts,
Hello.
a film student at Wilmington University. Kelsey, what inspired you to do this interview today? It really was more of a matter of necessity than inspiration. I had four potential interview subjects lined up. The first just refused. He said he hated being in front of the camera. The second was really interested in doing it and had something come up, a family commitment. So they called after a couple of days and said, no, I'm going to do this family thing. The third potential interview subject I had, we actually had a really great interview scripted. We worked together for quite a few days. Um, and then at the very last minute, I reached out and said, "Hey, we're getting kind of close to the deadline. We need to sit down and do the interview." And they were like, "Oh, with the whole holiday thing, I really assumed that you meant it would be the week after Thanksgiving, and so I've been out of state this whole time. I won't be back in time." And then the fourth person was a family member who lived with me, who just wasn't having it on the day that I had set aside to do it. So, yeah, here we are. And it seems like you try to make the best of things even when they don't work out as expected. Is that a skill that you've learned? And if so, what would you credit with that? 20 years in the military will do that to you. We had stuff constantly going wrong around us. The environment is constantly changing, and in that environment, you don't have the option to fail. You don't have the option to let things go wrong. So that definitely shaped me. And early on, there was a book called The 50th Law, which was a follow up to The 48 Laws of Power, written by Robert Greene, who is sort of a historian and a student of human nature. And he co authored The 50th Law with 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, as sort of a pseudo autobiography for 50 Cent. And each chapter is sort of structured around life events that shaped 50 Cent into who he is. And there's a lesson wrapped into each one, sort of like an Aesop fable with a moral of the story. And there was one chapter called Ghetto Alchemy: How to Turn Shit into Sugar. And it talks about, if you want to achieve success, real success, then it's not good enough just to let bad things kind of slide off your back. You have to develop a way of turning them into good things for you. Like a transmutative, like an alchemical transmutative property that turns bad things into good things, to turn shit into sugar. So when I have this interview project and constantly have people flaking or calling out over and over and over again, I could just go find a rando on the street or make one of my family members do it, or we could do this. And is this challenging? Without a crew, yes, this is one of the most challenging things I've done. Are you accomplishing what you hope to with this? Well, I hope I get a passing grade, but I want to tell stories, and I think there's a story to tell here, so I'm going to try to tell it. Maybe it sticks, and at the end of the day, maybe I get a little sugar out of it. Who knows? Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me and sharing the challenge this has been, and I wish you success on your future projects.
Thank you.
That's all for this interview. Thank you so much for joining us today.